We have 3 cameras in our portfolio. They differ in terms of the array size as well as the speed of the camera and the cost of the camera. But all these cameras feature direct electron detection, and they're all based on monolithic active pixel sensor arrays. So unlike hybrid pixel detectors, the monolithic active pixel sensors, or MAPs, have the advantage of having much larger number of pixels in the arrays. Also, these cameras all feature excellent performance for DQE and MTF. These sensors are based on our design, so these sensors are built for us, custom designed to our specifications. And it's based on 10 years of experience that we have in this field. This is something that we were one of the pioneers in, and we've been doing for over a decade. Our De16 camera is designed for both materials as well as biological sciences. And it's really a good fit for a TEM that's an advanced TEM, perhaps a combination TEM and STEM system that is aberration corrected, because it is very flexible and can be set up for a number of different experiments. And a couple of examples I'd like to give of how people are using the De16. The first one is for capturing in situ movies. The diagram there is from Utkarsh Mirzaidov at the National University of Singapore. And what he was doing was imaging gold nanorods in a in situ liquid cell. And he was looking at the way the gold nanorods moved around, and they moved quite quickly. And what he discovered as he was imaging these was that they were moving at about 1 radian per millisecond. And so he needed a camera that would be able to operate at high frame rates, but also be able to capture in each frame enough electrons in the signal so that he could measure the angular velocity of these nanorods. So he was operating with a frame rate of 300 frames per second, which gave him about 3 milliseconds per frame. And he was operating in integrating mode so that he could, each frame enabled a good enough image that he could detect the amount of rotational motion. The thing about in situ measurements and in situ experiments is that each one is different in terms of how fast the dynamic event occurs. So you need to have a camera that you can adjust the frame rate, you can adjust the field size, you can adjust the imaging modality that best fits that experiment. You don't want to change your experiment to fit the parameters of the camera. You want to change the parameters of the camera to fit your experiment. The next example I want to show you on the De16 is its use as a pixelated STEM detector. So people have always asked us the question, can you use these monolithic active pixel sensor arrays to collect diffraction images? And the answer is absolutely yes. This data is from Professor Paul Voiles at the University of Wisconsin. He's been using our De16 now for over 3 years as a 4D STEM detector. And again, the flexibility of being able to modify the size of the array and the speed of the camera enables him to collect the optimum conditions for the STEM images he needs to collect. The image there showing the position average convergent beam electron diffraction image on the left, as well as the masks that he then applies to that image so that he can create a bright field image, an annular bright field image and an annular dark field image of the strontium titanate sample. For those of you that like to get more information on these applications, please send me a message and I can send you links to these publications. This shows a table of the different frame rates as well as output sizes in terms of the pixel array that you can set the camera up to, as well as operating it in either a rolling shutter mode or a global shutter mode. Really being able to set up the camera specifically for the experiment that you want to do. The next camera in our portfolio is the De64. This is our largest array of pixels. This is a massive array of 8K by 8K. There is one of these cameras on the cryo-TEM there at the University of Glasgow. This image here is a 3D reconstruction from a single particle cryo-EM data collection. This is a sample of Lumizane synthase that David Bella's group collected and was able to do 3D reconstruction and achieve a resolution of 2 angstroms. The near perfect DQE of this camera enables really the best possible resolution when looking at these biological samples. In addition to looking at single particle analysis, I'd also like to show you an example of an application that's a diffraction image. It's based on diffraction images, and this is microelectron diffraction. This data is from Hua Chu's group at Stanford University. This is a sample of biotin. This is a single still image captured from a tilt series. The reconstruction from this tilt series achieves sub-angstrom resolution for the micro-ED data set. And then one last thing about the De64, because it has such a large array size, you can capture an entire grid hole in a single image frame, which allows you to do cellular tomography at a very high resolution. And then the third camera in our portfolio is our DeDirectView. This is our lower cost camera, and what we realized with the TEM community is that there are a lot of TEMs out there that are 6 to maybe 8, 12 years old that are still excellent microscopes. But when these microscopes were acquired, they were acquired with cameras that are probably obsolete now. So they're good microscopes with obsolete cameras. And we wanted to offer a retrofit direct detection camera that was available at an affordable price, that would give a significant upgrade to an existing TEM so that users could then repurpose their TEM for more advanced applications. So here's an example of using the DeDirectView. This is from Mingwei Chen at Tohoku University. And this is an example of an in situ experiment of a gold ligament that's under tensile strain. And there's actually, if you go to this publication and the supplemental material, there's a movie of this showing the strain on this gold ligament that finally leads to failure of the ligament. So this is a really good fit for those who want to upgrade their upgrade an existing TEM, but don't want to spend more money on the camera than they did on the TEM.